and action.
What's exciting about Promise of Light is the world that we've created here is something I think people are really going to connect with and be able to get lost in.
Camera rolling.
I don't care what it takes. I want as many practical effects as we can possibly get in this film. This is what's going to make the difference.
In the opening scene, if you establish other world, check.
Yeah.
Audiences can't, I'm in another world.
Looking back on it now, I think I may have been a little overambitious. This is easily the craziest film we've ever attempted to do.
That is a lot of seagulls.
And we were limited to a $6,000 budget.
It's a short story. Everything's got to be punchy and snappy.
The scope of the short film is so large and amazing.
As I follow Sareen on her journey, I think it'll relate to a lot of people and what she's going through.
I don't know how in the world we're going to pull this off. Welcome to the behind the scenes of A Promise of Light. In this video, you're going to hear stories from the making of. You're going to find out some of the tips, some of the tricks that we used in order to pull off our vision, which if you've seen the film, which if you haven't, click on the link below, go watch it now, come back, and then watch the video. But yes, if you've seen this film, you might have realized that there's a lot of visual effects. And since we had a very small budget, about $6,000 Canadian, we had to get very creative with how we were going to pull this off. So this all began at the end of 2017. We were finishing up another film called Presage, which was a period ghost story. And during the post-production on that, I was having a lot of vivid dreams. In one of those dreams, I saw this stone table, and on the stone table were all these engravings, and sitting on one side was this very ancient creature, and sitting on the other side was a man and a woman, both of which were being judged by this creature to find out the quality of their soul. It was a dream that was really hard to shake off, and those images just kept on lingering in my head for weeks, months later, until finally I decided to sit down and write a story using that as the genesis. And that was in spring 2018. And right away I realized that this was going to be an exceptionally hard film to make. When you're dealing with fantasy elements, when you're dealing with myth, legend, world building, where you have to create everything from scratch, whether it's clothes, tools, weaponry, buildings, it's not something that you normally see in a short film. And this both frightened me and excited me at the challenge of doing this, because a lot of the films that were my favorites growing up were exactly that. You know, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, even Jurassic Park to a certain degree had an enormous amount of world building there. And I really loved the idea of being taken away into another galaxy, another time, another place. And I thought this was a really cool story in which to attempt that.
The most important thing to consider when imagining a completely original world is the laws. And I'm not talking about governmental laws or criminal laws or anything like that. Those are important. But the laws of how the world works. In our own world, we have the laws of physics. There are certain things we can and can't do. But in, say, magical worlds or fantasy worlds, we also need to consider what people there can and can't do and make sure that it's consistent.
Now, when a story gets a hold of me, I become pretty obsessed with it. I can be very singular focused, and sometimes that's a good thing because it allows me to problem solve any obstacles that are on the horizon, but at the same time, it could be a bad thing because I might sugarcoat those obstacles and believe that we can accomplish them with no direct plan on how to do that. So in order to kind of, troubleshoot that in the beginning, we'd had about a year of pre-production. So I spent a lot of time working with our co-writer, Critelli, and our story collaborator, Berge, on talking about like how to bring this world to life. You know, what are the rules? What are the things that need to be taken into consideration before we even get into revising the script?
The reason why mythology is important in modern storytelling is because mythological elements have stood the test of time. All of the stories, the themes, the situations that we were talking about as humans thousands of years ago are just as relevant now as they were then.
In that, we got into storyboarding, and this film was storyboarded front to back a couple times so that we can kind of plan out what these sequences would be, even though we didn't have a finished script yet. And the storyboarding influenced the script in the end because we were able to realize that there's a couple scenes in particular that were just way too elaborate that never would have been able to make it into the final film. So the storyboarding and the scripting went hand in hand and really kind of helped us get down to what the film is now. One of the things the storyboarding really helped to do was to realize what the special effects needed to be in order to accomplish the shots that I had in my mind.
So we just had technically our first production meeting for pre-production, where everybody was all meeting each other for the first time, so we can kind of chat a little bit about where we are, what we're moving forward with, and how we're going to make this vision for A Promise of Light come true. For the most part, it went really well, just trying to figure out a few logistical issues that might arise with essentially creating our world. So we are going to be shooting everything completely. This film is shot in Ontario, Niagara Falls for the most part, potentially with one day shoot on location outside of Mississauga. There's an area of Badlands up there which might be suitable for what we're looking for part of the world that we're creating. But one thing that we're considering doing is using miniatures to heighten certain shots, to expand our world pretty much. So it's ambitious, it's a little intimidating, it's a little exciting. So we're really just sort of trying to figure out what that means, how we're going to pull it off, really, how we're going to create movie magic and bring a new visceral, tactile world without having to get into digital compositing too much, or digital matte paintings, trying to keep any compositing that we do still with practical elements that we build, but really bringing a tangible world to the screen for our story. So we still have some locations to scout around here. We're going to be doing some test shoots soon for the miniatures. So we are off and running. It is officially May the 4th, hence the Star Wars shirt. So we have 3 months. We have 3 months from this point to bring everything together and make it happen. So we'll see how things go.
He said keep to the right. So, just doing a little location scouting. Bit muddy out here today. I think so. He did say stay to the right, right? We're in search of some rocky locations. Potential location. Could definitely be a night camp location. Even up there we've got a road that comes down over here. We can bring our gear, have a little fire. Potentially this is where Sareen and Gren first meet. Very rocky, even along the edge up top. If we do put the camera up to see a night sky, that could be removed pretty easily and have a sky replacement. Just with that ridge there, we could, once again, we could put something in the background there. Whatever the hell's going on in the sky. And we can definitely have Sareen coming in this area here, almost like it's a cavern or a canyon. Using a long lens, just have her kind of coming towards us or going in. We'll take a little closer look. once again, just maybe have Sareen coming around the corner towards us like that. And let's just along the edge here, we can definitely do some sky replacement, cutting that out. This is her journey.
Again, I think the goal at the end of the day in the final edit will be to
Have Sareen
accomplish. Sorry, go on.
walking along here. No, it's okay. Look.
Accomplish as much of the sense of time and progress versus, you know, again, like, you know, without having to like beat it over the audience's head.
Yeah.
Like, can we get it in a few shots in limited amounts of time so the story progresses faster too, as far as like,
We know she's moving.
you know, it's a short story. We need everything's got to be punchy and snappy, even the fact that she's moving and she's alone and it's desolate. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because
Yeah.
we don't want to repeat ourselves too much. Otherwise, everyone's going to get bored.
Yeah, I don't think like just holding long drawn out shots for the sake of holding them, you know, again, in some, like, you need one or two of those, but
One,
yeah.
two tops, maybe just to really show a location if we can get somewhere really spectacular. But aside from that, it's got to be moving forward, onward with the story.
So today we are going to go and do some fabric shopping for one of Sareen's costumes. So we're going to be meeting up with our producer Steve Guest and our costume designer Tracy Guest and see what kind of fabrics we can find to help make her costume come to life. Hi guys!
Looking at fabric. That's costumes.
Wonderful stuff.
So, growing up for me, my favorite movies were always the sci-fi, fantasy, epic type films. So it's going to be really exciting to bring to life the world that we've created here. And I can't wait to get lost in it.
So what do you think?
There's fabric everywhere. Never seen so much fabric. How do you know which one to pick? I don't know. You know? Do you?
And when we were in early talks about what to do about the costumes, Steve had mentioned that his mom was really, really good at sewing, designing, coming up with ideas. And this was news to me. I'd never heard him speak about this before. So we met, we chatted, I saw some of the work that she'd done, and it was clear that not only was she the right person for the job, it's just amazing to, once again, bring in friends and family into the fold, especially when they have high talent. So after a year of pre-production, we got the wheels in motion and we set our shoot dates for October of 2019. We planned for an 8-day shoot and we knew it was going to be small crew, moving quickly, and a really flexible cast. For Sareen, we looked to Phoebe Galvan, who we'd previously worked with on a little comedy short called Talk Show Host. Phoebe is an incredibly talented actress and we knew she would bring the right physicality to the role. When it came to casting Gren, it was actually someone who had previously worked with at a non-film job named Brady. Now, Brady is a character, like in real life. Awesome, sweet guy, but there's something to him that you can tell there's a flair for the dramatic. So when he offered to audition, I wasn't sure what we were gonna get. And when he handed his self-tape in, me and the producers were blown away.
I won't ask again. Who are you?
I'm Gren, the last of my kind, guided only by the great dream. I was out here struggling to survive. I was beginning to lose hope.
How did you find me?
In the great dream, I saw the crystal here in this place.
You saw this?
Yes. I come from a small clan of dreamwalkers. In this way, we've always found the crystals. I knew you had one. Knew you'd be out here. And I know what it is you seek. Let me help you.
It's too late. No one can help me now.
I can't. Please, let me show you. You have no idea how long I've been waiting out here alone. And now you're here together. Don't give up now.
I didn't come out here for you.
Are you certain? Do you really even know what it is you're searching for?
I was searching for a door. The door that leads to...
Healing. Yes. The doorway of light. Created and used by the first fathers of time.
How do you know that?
I used to have a crystal once. Mine was actually blue. A great blue stone. All of the clansmen did. It was our life's work to seek out the doorway and complete the work of the fathers and fulfill the prophecy.
What prophecy?
To deliver the final healing.
One of the things about this film is that it's supposed to be taking place on a dying world where everybody has been infected by a plague. Reed initially envisioned that this plague was represented by the decay of the body, which would be seen through these black veins that would be taking over your physical being before you passed away. So to help bring that to life, I connected with Brooke Reed, a just phenomenally talented makeup artist who designed these sickly veins and brought them to life in spectacular fashion.
Is I take a little bit of this and I apply it with this. This is skin tight, part A and B. It's all perfectly safe for the skin. It's just a silicone that you mix together. All right, and then it's actually made with this. Yes, so we're gonna attach it. Silicone bonds to silicone. So it's gonna stick. All right. Okay, I have to remember which one to take off. There we go.
How long have you been doing this for?
Probably 12 years now.
Oh my god!
Yeah. I've been at it for a while.
Oh my god.
And
always like special effects.
I've always loved special effects, but I do everything. A little bit of everything. My biggest dream is to break into like the creature mask business. Yeah. And make all the creepy, scary film masks and stuff. All right, let's get started.
Yo, this is so cool. I've seen this on like YouTube, but I've never seen it in real life. Where they like mix the stuff.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's one of my favorite parts. When I was in school, I was like, this is what I want to do.
Where'd you go to school for this?
CMU Makeup Academy. Yeah, it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, oh my god.
Woo, cups are tipsy. There we go.
Put it up, girl.
Yes, bun it up, girl. All right.
This is a beautiful studio.
Oh my god. And don't worry, this stuff comes off super.
Oh, sorry, once you have it, that's it. You're in character. That's an actor.
Yeah, you literally just go for it, right? There we go.
I want to be walking around downtown for the rest of my day like this.
Yes.
I'm gonna go to dodgeball, I guess. Intimidate the competition.
That's what we did in school. We would like put all this stuff on each other, and then we would literally just go and walk downtown.
Yo, I'm about it.
And people would be like, some would look at us, it was Toronto, to be honest with McDonald's, in our animal face paint. For theater.
I just wanted McFlurry.
Yeah, all I wanted was a McFlurry. That's all I wanted. Okay, and I'm thinking we're gonna go up the jaw, so I'm gonna attach this piece.
The only thing that I want with the tunic on is maybe a still photo, like with the the cloak on.
Yeah.
And when you saw
So we just had our first costume fitting for Sareen for A Promise of Light, and I gotta say, I'm super excited. There's a few more little things we're gonna add to the costume, but in general, it looks fantastic. Our costume designer and seamstress have done a great job in bringing it together.
Yeah, the wastelands are the wastelands, and it's like trying to show that it's not just Earth wastelands, because that was the number one thing our coverage assumed, that this was still Earth. So yes, I agree that we have to get into this is another world right off the bat in that first scene.
We're still compositing a sky that has 3 suns,
Yeah,
2 moons.
absolutely.
You know, again, from Audette
Yes.
in that scene, some element of other world.
Yes.
Bam, we're right into she's following 3 suns
Yes.
in the environment.
Yep.
Again, it's done, and she's alone out in the middle of nowhere, and there's nothing.
Right.
To the night, the multiple moons.
Yes.
At night.
Yep.
So there's still all of that.
There is all of that.
Compositing
So
to do, and
maybe
and mapping.
Yes.
Other elements of another world.
So maybe if we look at that initial her going across this impossible landscape, if we get into maybe a miniature shot there, forced perspective in the foreground, so we don't have to composite, it's all in camera. We do a shot of her going across the iron.
You're always going to be compositing on.
Yeah, with the sky.
Always, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Then we go into a shot of her across the Badlands, right? The iron ore hills there. Those two, if we do 2 shots like that back to back, we should once again establish that this is a very unique world. Even if, like, say for example, I don't know how you feel about this, if we go to the iron ore hills there, and even if we get a drone shot of her above, what we can do is we can take that land, even though it is surrounded by forest, but we can go in post and replicate that land around, so it looks like she's across this endless thing. And then that will kind of seal it. Then from there on, we're in the quarry and we're making...
Yeah, I agree. Again, I think in the opening scene, if you establish other world, check. Audience is king, I'm in another world.
Yes.
Now, what we need to establish is she's been out in this vast wasteland alone for a period of time.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, are we accomplishing that just with what we're showing? It's not about the other world anymore, because in our brains, we're in another world.
Yes. And then from there...
So the key Gren's another world. We have
sure
this thing on his forehead. He's from a place and people and culture we don't relate to or understand exactly, because it's not something familiar to us on this planet. There's a monster. I mean, again, we showed the creature. The first one.
So I think that is enough. I think
it's enough.
Yeah. We don't have.
I just want us to stay on track for the story.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And
miniatures, maybe. Well, miniatures, 100%. We need a miniature for the faces.
Oh, 100%.
The exterior.
100%. Yeah.
That is where, if you want to get into doing one of these elaborate composites, that's where that would happen.
Yes.
That's where we can bulk that up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Which will include the suns and moons that, again, we are going to be reminded over and over and over again.
I agree. I agree.
So let's not go too crazy
No,
with,
we're not gonna-
with the miniature world.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like what I was doing there was to kind of just illustrate how we can do things with different elements, foreground, and if we need to do an extension into the background.
So as I mentioned, one of the key characters in this film was this creature that was in my dream. And we had to kind of find a way to do this. Initially, my dreams for this creature was that it was going to be a full-sized animatronic, living, breathing creature on set like we would have seen in films like The Dark Crystal, but that wasn't feasible. It was a goal that we were trying to hit with our fundraising, but it just wasn't possible. So we came up with this idea to get the head of the creature built as a puppet. And then we would have someone puppeteer that head against a green screen, have an actor on set with Sareen acting opposite them, and then do a head replacement. And honestly, we had no idea if this was going to work out, but in theory, it should. So we moved ahead with that, and we got in touch with this amazing character creator named Matt Ficner, based out of Ottawa, Ontario. And he was more than happy to collaborate with us in both design and in the construction of the puppet.
Hi, my name is Matt Ficner, and I'm a puppet designer, builder, and performer. Now, when I say puppet, people often think of something very cute and cuddly and fuzzy. But I've been doing this work for well over 30 years, and I actually like to really think more of it as I'm a character and creature creator, builder, and performer. And when I was introduced to this project, I was really excited at the opportunity to not only at first have a lot of fun designing Uilephiest as this bizarre insect-like humanoid creature character.
Practical effects for me are always more interesting. It creates more of a connection between the viewer and the film.
I have no eyes in place yet, but I'm getting there. I can't see anything. Who turned out the light? Okay, I'm almost there. Working on it. Space wizard thing. And of course the idea being something more like this once I have my robe on. I'm sort of a combination of Chinese dragon, predator, alien, and something or other. Very different. Hello, Timothy. I am ready for you. Oop. Light change. There we go. I'm ready for you. I'm looking forward to working with you. Yes.
Now, this created a lot of obstacles in the back end on post-production when we had to put it all together, and we're going to touch on that in another video. But for the most part, this really was something that I felt was our intention, was to have a creature that felt like these 1980s fantasy sci-fi films, even like the original Star Wars, how there was a lot of puppeting creatures that were there that inhabited that universe. And it really feels like that to me, and I'm really happy with that. So more on that on another video. And for the models and miniatures, those were built by another one of my friends who I was working with outside of film. And I always knew her to be a very artistically inclined person, super talented, highly, highly talented. And when we started the discussions about what I was needing for this film to take place, the conversation went right to like models. And she mentioned it was something that she'd always wanted to do but never really got into. So we worked it out about, her coming on board and taking over the models and miniatures. And, she poured her heart into that. And I know they're on the screen for like such a short period of time, but they really add so much to the world, and just blown away by the work that she did. And even these ruins, some of them were cast out of plastic water bottles, the kind that you get at the corner store. Like, she just had so much creativity coming forward. That's so invaluable, especially when you have a small cast and small crew and almost no budget, is surrounding yourself with people who are passionate and creative and pour their heart into what they're doing. And this wall here was carved out of styrofoam. Once again, a way for us to help build this world at minimal cost.
Camera rolling. Matthew's got it. We're good. Action!
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So that's gotta look like a nurse.
That is a lot of seagulls. Where's Steve when we need him now?
That's right. She needs to bend down. Yeah. Great call. Great call. Thank you.
Camera rolling? Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
One of the benefits of filming in the region that me and the other filmmakers grew up in was that we knew of a lot of nature spots where we could shoot our scenes, where it could be peaceful, but then it also had parts of the set, outside set, that we could augment, whether it was sky replacement, digital set extension, whatever it may be. It was enough to give us a foundation to start building our world in.
Bouncy duck. That was fucking awesome, Steve.
Action.
Bouncy duck. Cool.
Awesome.
Cool. Bouncy duck. Cool. Action.
Damn that hood. Okay, just pull it back just a little bit, Brady. And reset, we're still rolling. Hood's awesome. It's deep. Action! So here we are, day 2, shooting A Promise of Light. And we just are entering our location for the day. Yes, I know there's no water on this land that Sareen's in, but we have some amazing cliffs over this way we're going to be utilizing. But yeah, a little bit of a hike to get down here today, but hey, there's no other place I'd rather be right now. This is just a great day. We got a great crew, and yeah, we'll have some great photos up for you guys soon. What are we doing, buddy?
Going in the water. And it's cold. I can tell it's cold already. It feels cold from here. All right.
That's how you transport snacks. Oh, hell yeah.
That's our
delicacy is the best part.
And that's how we feed our producer on set.
Action. And keep rolling, pull out, guys, and we're gonna do that again. So, Danny slowly unfurl. reset one more time. Phoebe, give me a moment to come in. So Danny, go right ahead.
And Phoebe, I'm gonna need some facial expression as well.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
The short film genre is relevant in today's world because it shows that you can tell an amazing story in 3 acts without that $1 million budget.
When it came to building the set for Audette's deathbed scene, we knew we wanted this set to look otherworldly but familiar. And once again, being on a super tight budget, we had to find creative ways to do this. Basically, everything you see here was done for dirt cheap. The brick wall in the background, that actually was wallpaper from the dollar store. As you can see here in this footage where we did some of our test shoots, this was actually the studio where our cinematographer worked out of, and we just utilized this space. The books stacked in the background were all books that we brought in, that our cast and crew brought in, and we just reversed the spine, and then we stacked them up. Pretty much everything you see here was either brought from home or purchased from the dollar store. The blankets and pillows, pretty much we just brought from home, and the bed that she's in was actually a blow-up mattress that, once again, we brought from home. So as you can see, the solutions that we had were very cheap, very effective, but also very creative. And you would never guess. Like we knew that we were only going to shoot in the corner of this shooting space. So basically we just dressed it up the best we could, lit it properly, and then it was our hope that the emotion of the scene will actually carry through and people wouldn't be looking to spot out imperfections in the set. So I really think that this was an effective way to bring this scene to life. Thank you everybody for watching. Before you click away, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for part 2.